Welcome back. Today we're going to talk about S3 buckets very briefly. Up at the top of your search, let's just go ahead and type in S3 and you'll see it says scalable storage in the cloud. So that's basically exactly what it is. Now, there is a couple of nuances here. You don't want to install operating systems or databases inside of an S3 bucket. In fact, you can't. S3 buckets are basically good for video, storage, logs. They're good for backup plans, things like that. Virtually endlessly scalable. So if you run out of data, well, you won't. It just keeps growing. You should be fine no matter what you want to throw at it. Now, for the SAA-C03 specifically, there's going to be a lot of exam questions that are about how do you configure them, what kind of bucket policies you have, versioning or non-versioning, lifecycle rules. You can have it auto archive after a while. You can store it in many different places. But we are going to not talk about S3 exclusively in this one. I just want to show you what it is so we can use it for other purposes. Let's go ahead and create a demo bucket here. All of these user interfaces are very similar, so you'll get used to this feel. And that's the point of these hands-on tutorials. We're not going to do this for absolutely everything because these will move around, they'll change, they're going to be in different cookie breadcrumbs. Amazon can change this any day. In fact, when you watch this video, it might be different. But the idea of what types of attributes are in here, what type of configuration items are in here, that's what's important. So it's good to get a few of these under your belt. It's a global namespace, so we'll have to give it a unique name that's unique among all buckets out there in all of AWS. So let's just give it a name of bucket tutorial repo, and then you can give it whatever name you want. But if I'm using this, you're probably going to you're going to run into troubles because I already own this, right? So choose this bucket. You want to keep object ownership set to the bucket owner enforced. That disables ACLs, so access is controlled through IAM and bucket policies only. ACLs are access control lists. Keep the block public access enabled. This will prevent public grants, but it'll still authorize specific identities through policies. Let's go ahead and leave bucket versioning disabled for this temporary lab. When it's enabled, old versions are retained, and each retained version does consume storage. With it enabled, it means if you change a file or update something, you can always go back to the original. And there's so many rules you can have around that too. Anyways, we're basically going to keep all the default settings here. Let's create this bucket. Now, let's see, the next step is, it says successfully created bucket. Great. Let's try to upload something to this bucket. Upload here. And we're just going to do add files. I'll just do, what kind of files do I have? Some sort of screenshot. Let's just add it. Okay. And click on upload. Now we have success. We've uploaded something to our bucket. The upload succeeds because my signed in IAM identity is authorized to call S3 put object. But now if I want a user to be able to add something to this bucket, you're going to see in the next example that it is not going to work. So let's just take a look at that screenshot. So what you're looking for typically would be the object URL, and it looks like this, HTTPS, and then a bunch of stuff. But now we're going to copy that, and you'll see that this will not work when you paste it into the browser. You get access denied. So the S3 console has my IAM identity. And so therefore the request works through the console. But when I do it through the browser, it has an anonymous ID. So therefore the S3 bucket itself will deny the request. So my IAM identity can use it because its policies authorize the required actions. Remember when we created this, we didn't allow any public access whatsoever. And so it's working as intended. But if you want to send this to a friend, just quickly for now, you can do a object action and you can share with a pre-signed URL. And what is a pre-signed URL? It's basically saying, hey, just for a limited time, I'll let somebody have access. Now, there is some vulnerability to this because anybody with a link will have access. So the link hopefully will be only shared between you and whoever wants it, but you can set a timer. Let's do it for 1 minute. And you're going to create this pre-signed URL. Now that it's copied to my clipboard, now I could paste that into here and it should work immediately. This is the screenshot that I have. Don't know what that is. Now we'll wait a minute and reload the same pre-signed URL. You'll see the object remains in S3, don't forget, but after the URL expires, it just no longer authorizes a new request. So S3 returns access denied. And there it is. Access denied. The full minute has taken place, and now we can no longer see the image. This is it for this quick tutorial. We wanted to create that bucket so that we can use it for other tutorials in the future. So hang on to this bucket. Don't destroy it at this moment yet. S3 charges for stored data, requests, retrievals, transfers. So simply having an empty bucket should be free. So the one small object should cost very, very little. But we'll clean it up after the other labs are through. And another great thing about these buckets is they're just super versatile and they work with many AWS services just out of the box.